how you made the transition from the contemporary fiction to the historical fiction.
Yellow Wife was difficult. All my stories are. Somehow, I don't mean for them to have like these dark moments, but our history is dark. And so, in order for me to do what needs to be done for these stories, which is entertain, but also educate my readers, I have to go a little bit deep. Yeah.
Hey guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I'm super excited. I am super hyped because we're going to be doing a reading vlog. And the book that we are going to be reading is Sadeqa Johnson's newest book, Keeper of Lost Children. It is coming out today, and you guys already know I like to go into the store the day that it is released to get my copy. And when I tell you I am so geeked, she is one of my favorite historical fiction writers. She is one of my favorite writers, period. But when it comes to historical fiction, she just does like no wrong, okay? But I am super excited about it. I don't know a lot about the book. Really am excited to, clearly read it and also read the synopsis and see what it's about. And yeah, I am just so geeked. I hope this day goes by super fast. I am currently at the office right now, but I will be going out to get my copy. I'm also wondering, with her books, I tend to get more than one copy. So I'm curious to see if I'm gonna like it so much and I'm like, okay, I have to have another copy, because her last two books, Yellow Wife and House of Eve, I have 3 copies of Yellow Wife. I have 2 copies of The House of Eve. So I just adore this author. I know I'm gonna learn something. Also, I know I'm gonna be entertained. But enough rambling. We're gonna go and get the book. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's go to this bookstore. Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, look how pretty it looks. So I can go now because I got exactly what I wanted. Okay, you guys, so I'm finally home. I'm showered, I'm relaxed, and I'm ready to get into Keeper of Lost Children. This cover is so pretty. Ah, again, I haven't really read a lot of synopsis. I haven't, just dived deep into this book. I haven't watched any interviews, as of yet. I didn't ask for an arc because usually I don't like arcs of books. I want to read it when it's like everything is done. Then I also want to read it like when it came out. And you guys know I like to go into the bookstore and get it and all of that. I think that was like the quickest book trip that I ever had, because I didn't want to look at any other books. I was like, I'm not buying any other books. I don't care about any other books right now except this. So I went in there, kid you not, was not even there for 5 minutes. It was right where the new books were. I picked it up, paid for it, and got in my car. Again, I'm so excited to get into this. It looks like it's not a long book. Or she writes so well that she doesn't have to just have, 500 and 600 pages. This book is, yeah, it's a little over 400. Yet it doesn't look or feel like 400 pages, but I don't care how many pages it is. You already know I'm fangirling. Anything that Sadeqa Johnson writes, I will be getting. You guys, so it's actually the next day, and I have started Keeper of Lost Children, and I'm already obsessed. I have been introduced to all 3 characters. We first meet Sophia, and this is in 1965. She lives in Maryland, and she is in the 10th grade. She lives on a farm. She has three siblings. She has like 2 younger brothers. They're twins, and then she has an older brother. And they're really poor. Have to take care of the, farm, her and her brothers. So they get up like early in the morning before school starts and, do that, and then they go to school. Their mom is a nurse, but mama don't care about them kids, okay? At all. But Sophia is very, very smart, and she gets the opportunity to be able to go to a boarding school. She wins like a scholarship. She's able to, go there for free. Then we meet Ethel, and she's in France right now. This is in 1950. So her husband is a Army chief warrant officer, and she actually is a journalist. And her husband, they live in Germany, and she's, hasn't been there for a while, but she, doesn't speak the language. And her husband's like, well, some of the Army wives, they go on this kind of like trip to France to get to know each other. And then also they are Catholic, so you also get like a religious experience. And she has found out some news regarding her health that's not really good. So she just really wants to, seek out her religion, pray, and yeah, do what she has to do. Lastly, we meet Ozzy, and this is in Philadelphia, and this is in 1948. And Ozzy, he's a young man. He's getting ready to go away to the, is it army? I believe it's his last night in Philadelphia, and he has been going with this young lady named Rita. She basically told him like, look, 4 years is a lot. I want you to be able to see other people. I want to be able to see other people. But he like, only person I want is you. Like, why can't you wait? And she like, no, I'm not waiting. And also, I don't want you to resent me. It's like, you don't know what you might, want to do or explore or whatever. Like, let's be realistic. But he was real sweet on her. But she like, yeah, no. But I'm gonna make your last night memorable. We gonna do what we gotta do. And that's where I have ended. And so next is gonna pick up with Sophia. Her writing is just fantastic. It's a movie. Oh, this got me. I got a little teary-eyed. The nun stepped aside and ushered the pair into the parlor where Junior's sister was already at work starting a fire. I cannot keep him. The woman's eyes were filled with shame. The child stayed fitted around her so tightly it was hard to see where one began and the other ended. My father banished me from our village. The young woman repositioned the boy in her lap, and when he faced forward, his sweater was 2 sizes small and his thick hair unruly. It was just as the nun had suspected. And then, y'all, just as she turned to go, the boy lifted his head, clenching the hem of her robe. Mommy, shh, go back to sleep. You are safe. Mommy, mommy, he said, louder this time. The child next to him stirred. Harmonious cries of, Mommy, where's mommy, echoed throughout the door. Go back to bed, children. It is okay. The nun moved from one child to the next, tucking them back under the covers, rubbing backs, and whispering sweet words of affection. Still, the boy could not be pacified. Pushed off the bed and started running across the floor. Mommy, don't go. Please, please. Y'all, whew. I didn't even tell you guys quickly what this is about. Okay, so real quick, it says Ethel Gathers is the proud wife of an American officer, is living in Germany in the 1950s. After discovering an orphanage filled with the abandonment mixed race children of Germany, German women and Black American GIs, Ethel feels compelled to place them in loving homes. Philadelphia-born Ozzy Phillips volunteers for the recent desegregation army in 1948, eager to make his mark in the world. While serving in Germany, he meets a local woman, Jelka, and the two embark on a relationship that will impact their lives forever. In 1965 Maryland, Sophia Clark is given an opportunity to attend a prestigious all-white boarding school and escape her ruthless parents. In the course of her studies, she discovers a secret that upends her world and sends her on a quest to unravel her own identity. Struggling between the lives of these three individuals, Keeper of Lost Children explores how one woman's vision will change countless lives. Yeah, that's basically what it is about. Like I said, you're getting 3 point of views, 3 different perspectives, and again, I'm only on page 48 and I've met all the characters and I've met the main characters and I'm already obsessed.
I don't know when I started the book if I knew that I was going to be working in 3 different time periods. I knew that I had 3 different characters. So those characters came to me. And so I knew that there was their stories. It was just a matter of where the stories needed to start in order for the story to make sense altogether. So when I was writing, I always started with Sophia.
And so
Mhm.
I would write Sophia's character for a couple of chapters till I was pretty much feeling like, okay, I have a sense of where she's going for like the next 3 or 4 chapters. And then I would put it aside. And then next I would write Ozzy's character for a couple of chapters. And then I would put him aside. And then I would do the same thing for Ethel. And then I printed all of that. And I would literally sit on my office floor and I lined up Sophia's chapters, Ozzy's chapters, Ethel's chapters, and I would pick them up almost like a jigsaw puzzle to figure out how they intersected with each other to sort of braid it together like a story. And I did that, time and time again until I got to the end of the book.
Okay, y'all, I look a mess. Excuse my appearance, but I am clearly reading this, and there is a character that is from the House of Eve. Y'all, when I tell you I just screamed. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. I don't want to give it away because clearly, if you haven't read, the House of Eve. Um, but yeah, I love when Sadeqa does this. She said that she likes to drop in little nuggets pertains to other characters in like her other historical fiction books because everyone always asks her, can we have a sequel to Yellow Wife? Can we have a sequel to The House of Eve? And if you read those two books, there is so much room for sequels because it's kind of like a cliffhanger. It's like you get closure. It's a fantastic story. It's well rounded, but you always wonder in the back of your mind about these characters. And oh my gosh, yeah. I'm feeling like, oh, my baby, how's she doing? And these people are not even real, okay? So I'm just like, okay, Ruby, that's my little hint. Yeah, I'm supposed to be working. Okay, I'm working from home today. Let me get back to this because, whew, I gotta know. I gotta know. So you guys, I've gotten to the part. I'm on Ethel's part now, but I've gotten to the part um where the brown babies have been discovered. It's really interesting. Let me read it to you. So it says, what is this place? Sister Ursula had intense eyes, and a gray strand of hair had come loose from her habit. This is St. Hildegard's Children's Home. We take in the orphans who have been left behind. Left behind by whom? Whomever. The word is difficult on many. Ethel looked around and then back to the nun. All of these children appear to be mixed race. Sister Ursula nodded. It is unfortunate, but most of the American fathers have moved on, and the German women cannot always keep their children. Why not? Ethel touched her stomach. She had known about Negro soldiers taking up with German women, even a few mothers who even a few mothers with brown skinned babies in the streets, but she hadn't known that they had been abandoned. Their mothers lack the support they need to raise their children. Most lose their jobs once their situation is known, and they have some privileges revoked. What a shame. We do all that we can to care for them, Sister Ursula motioned for Ethel to follow her. My husband is an officer. He told me that when Negro soldiers apply for permission to marry German women, the U.S. military almost always denies it. Ethel stood beside Sister Ursula. The two boys, about 10 years old, tossed a baseball. The children all looked clean and fed, but many of the little girls' hair looked matted and uncombed. Ethel felt the urge to scoop each one up in her arms. Instantly, Ethel heard, "You have much to offer others." Could this be it? Was it her calling to aid these forgotten children? This is so interesting because I have heard a tiny bit about these brown babies. It was a documentary that it was either a documentary or I watched some years ago. It's not the same one that Sadeqa Johnson watched, but I can recall it was on BBC, I believe. Of course, they were talking about these mixed race children that were abandoned and they were taken in by nuns, and it like clearly the system was not good. There was an interview with Sadeqa Johnson, actually her promoting this book, said that when we think about when we think about World War II books, you don't think about blacks. You know what I mean? Like we're just not a figure. yet we are. But a lot of other books, they don't focus on black. I thought that was really interesting when she said that, because I started to think, and I'm like, there has been a lot of books set in that time that they did not talk about us. The fact that Ethel Gathers is inspired by a real life woman named Mabel Grammer, being an advocate for them and really helping, the system when it came to like adoption, and just, helping these orphans, helping these, orphans that were mixed race. Just learned about her because of Sadeqa Johnson. That's one thing I love about historical fiction, is like, especially with her. Um, she writes women that are not really well known, and then you want to just start looking everything up. That is just the beauty of historical fiction. So today when I was supposed to be working, I was looking up pictures and, reading about her and her husband. But yeah, I had never heard of her. It's so sad to think that these children, they were a product of the war, and they were just discarded. And like she said, even if they wanted to get married, some of them, their privileges were revoked. They couldn't have any, they couldn't take care of themselves. There's no jobs or anything, there was nothing, because again, they didn't want these German women to be with these black men. And the fact that you had produced children, it's just so heartbreaking. So once again, Sadiqa is teaching me something new.
You're so cute. So how old will you be on there?
About 8 there now.
It have been sort of this age, that probably questions maybe asked.
Questions and name calling.
So how did it make you feel when the children were calling you names and things like that and asking questions? How did that make you feel?
When people call me the N-word, you didn't exactly know what it meant.
Yeah.
But you knew
Just
it was
a word.
colour, and it was a word, and you weren't the same as everybody else, and you wanted to do something about it. So I just used to get some bleach and with a cloth and wash my face.
Did anyone know you were doing that, or you just kept that to yourself?
I just kept it to myself. I kept a lot to myself.
So you guys, I am getting ready to go out for Valentine's Day. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. But but before I was getting dressed, of course, I was reading. And it's like I'm savoring every minute of this book, because I want to just tear it up. But at the same time, it's like I don't want it to end, because it's just fantastic. I'm trying to figure out who is my favorite character so far. I have an affinity to all of them. I love Sophia because she's a young girl. She's 15, 16 years old, and she is just trying to, you know, better herself when it comes to her education, and her family sucks because her mom is just not a mama, and she's in this elite private school where it's a integrated school. Of course, you already know there's some ups and downs there. And then with Ozzy is such a soft, sensitive man. You know what I mean? And he keeps on saying, I just want to do, you know, right in the world, especially being a black man. And, his dad was in and out of his life. And if you read a little bit about his family life, you'll see. But he's so gentle. He wants to do right. And then, he's homesick. He's all the way in Germany and he's from Philadelphia. You just see the racism when it comes to being in the army and all of that. And then with Ethel, she's just going to have your heart, because that scene where she goes to the orphanage and she meets the children, all the way Sudoku wrote that was unbelievable, because you can just see those little pretty brown babies running and playing and trying to talk, and the little girl that really does gravitate towards her. It is just so 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 sweet, you guys. I thought it was also funny too, where um Ethel, she was a beautician, before she got married and all of that. But I know us as black women, if we see like a little girl and her head kind of toe up, we like, oh Lord, let me get my hands in that head to comb that out. And that was like the first thing when she was looking at the baby. She saw that they were, a little tacky, clothing were too little and things like that. And then she saw that head, like, oh Lord. but they don't know what to do with that. But with Ethel, she is also gentle and so soft and just wants to do right when it comes to these children. She sees that, it's horrible how society is, where you have these GI soldiers that get, in relationship with these women, and a lot of times they get reassigned, or there's some prejudice that goes along with it, everything revoked because of that. You're with an American and then you're with a black man. That's like two strikes. So just to know that that went on, and how just horrible, you know, it was, like, really does open your eyes. You know what I mean? I know for me it is. What page am I on? I am on 142. Yeah, so I already know I'm not even done yet. I'm not even halfway done. I'm gonna get another copy of this book. There's just it's This is so crazy how with Sadiqa's works. Every historical fiction book I have of hers, I have more than one copy. But let me finish getting ready. Today is Saturday, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this on Sunday, because usually that's when I get everything, done. Because I need to start the book club pick. I have not started that yet, but my mind has just been heavily on this. Tonight, I'm gonna pick it back up, and then tomorrow I really want to focus on that. I'll make a priority of really focusing on, getting a good amount of this done, because next week I do want to focus on the book club pick.
I do remember that my mum had a photo of my dad. So when I had this photo, I used to carry it around with me all the time. Even when I was little, I had it and I lost it. That's all I had of him.
So what do we know about your father?
What do we know? Very little, really. He was an African-American GI, and he came over during the war. He went back to America after the war and never came back.
Okay, you guys, so I just finished this book. Literally just finished this book. You can see my mascara is running down my face. Y'all, I cried. Okay. This is a similar feeling I had when I finished this book, Yellow Wife. I I cried. This was so good. This is a 5-star. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. But yet again, Sadeqa has done a fantastic job. You got closure. You just got everything. This was perfectly paced. The fact that you are following, 3 POVs, you are following different time frames. Nothing felt rushed. Each character was well rounded. And she has a way, I notice, where she writes little things that, for me, it's not like it's so insignificant, yet the way that she writes it, it is just a moment that you remember. It's just a little splash. For example, I remember with Yellow Wife, when Phoebe and July, they were walking back. They were at the Devil's Half Acre. They were walking back from church, and July is, singing the hymn that they just heard. And she turns to her and says, I didn't know that you can sing. And the way Sadiqa writes that little moment with July, she smiles and she gets really shy and she's just so proud, of that moment. Is just so cute because you can see, you know, them walking, from church. And, she says that again, so insignificant, but yet the way that she does that is amazing. And with this story, there is, with Ethel, her daughter, she comes and asks her, "Can you paint my nails?" And Ethel's like, "You can't have your nails painted. They don't allow that in school." And she's like, "Well, such and such has their nails painted." And she's like, "I'm not such and such mama." And then she says, "Well, can you paint my toenails and I'll paint your toenails?" And she has it in her hand and she's smelling it, and Ethel's like, "Okay." And then they're painting each other's toenails, and then two of her other daughters comes and sees it and gets excited, and then she paints their toenails. And then she gets an envelope, and each little toes that she has painted, she fans them. Such a cute moment. And again, it's so insignificant, but the way that she writes it, it's just, oh, it takes your heart. It honestly does. Her books feel like movies. This story also reminds me of Dashaba Wong Fung Quay Mai. She is a Vietnamese author, and this is talking about Amerasian children, where you have Vietnamese women and white American GI soldiers. And this was back during, the Vietnam War, how you had a lot of the, GIs, they go have relations with the women. The same thing with, the German children. They are, put up for adoption. When I was reading this, it reminded me so much of that. And I actually have a reading blog on this. I'll put it down below, but it's very similar, but still different. But like, again, you have these children that were, born out of wedlock. Their moms couldn't take care of them. They had to, be adopted. They went to America. Some of them stayed in Vietnam, but a lot of times they went to America. And this was another story that I didn't know anything, about. But if you guys have not read Keeper of Lost Children, I would urge you to read it. This is a must-have. I do not know which one is my favorite. I think these are all beyond 5 stars. But there's something about Yellow Wife. And maybe because I started with that. And I mean, all these are beyond amazing. But if I would have to pick, Yellow Wife is my first. I think Keeper of Lost is my second. And The House of Eve. But yeah, guys, this is it for this reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching and me gushing over Sadeqa Johnson and us learning something new, which is always a win. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. And I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.
I had a look into your the 2 Herman Askews that you looked into. I thought that was quite a good starting point.
Right.
This is your dad.
No.
Yeah, he's your dad. This is your dad.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, isn't that lovely? He's a handsome chap, isn't he?
He's a good looking boy.
Oh, and he's lovely.
She's on her way to meet her sisters for the very first time.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Hi, Mary. Hello, I'm Mary.
Felicia.
Yes. Oh.
I'm glad you came all this way to meet us.
You're Shorty.
Oh, you're pleased to see me.
Yes.
Oh dear gosh.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if they told you, Dad's mother, our grandmother, her name was Mary. Our grandmother's name is Mary Askew.
That was right. I was named after his mother, so say.
We have some photos.
Saying hi. Hi.
You can have those.
Oh, thank you. For me to go all these years with nothing, to have something like this, it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
So we have found some living relatives in America.
Yeah.
And we've been in contact with them. And they'd love to meet you over Zoom.
Really?
Really, cousins.
Oh, that's an big screen.
Come in. Come closer. Hello. Hi, girls.
Hi there.
This is Bill.
Hello, ladies.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
This is really like something out of Fantasyland. I want to climb through the screen now and sit down there and talk to you. You know, that's how I feel.
I want to give you a hug. You know, I do.
Me too.
And
I don't know. There's such a lot of life that's gone by, and I'd love to keep in touch with you, you know? And,
Yes. Oh, yes.
We will be in touch. I promise.
Right. It's a great feeling, Bill. It really is. You take care, Bill, and we love you.
Love you too.